My name is Fran Ransley, and I've been a resident of Twin Lakes since 1984. I've raised up my family here, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here today and discuss the issue regarding the kennel permit. I have followed this essentially in the news and via social media. I have not been to any of the supervisors' meetings. I'm deaf and I have to lip read, and I simply am not able to follow what's going on in a meeting. However, I feel that essentially there are so many other what I think are more important issues to be concerned about. We live in a rural residential subdivision. So what I see is someone with a property 12 acres in size, and they want to have 14 small dogs under the size of 10 pounds. I don't really think that's unreasonable given the already existing demographics of humans and dogs in this subdivision. As long as your number of animals is reasonable, in other words, that it doesn't cause dust, extreme noise, anything like that, I really don't see a problem. Reasonable would be, I think, if you've got 5 acres, and of course the position, the orientation of the home, and where your animals go on the acres makes a difference. But if you've got your home situated along the road and your dogs are in a little yard and they bark when somebody drives past, I don't see that as being unreasonable. Or if you have like a little kennel or something you keep them in, so they're not running all over the neighborhood or digging their way out, you know, things like that. Like I said, dust and extreme noise, like if you had dogs that barked all the time, 24/7, then I would say that would be something your neighbors would want to take up with you. I believe that having 3 or 4 small dogs under 10 pounds, little terriers or chihuahuas, is totally reasonable on 1 acre of land. We're talking about the Lucero property. Okay. I went there, actually it was before I moved in 84, probably would have been the very early 80s, 80, 81, 82. My husband met the people that owned it then, and I can't remember their names, but they had that barn building. They raised cockatiels, and there were dozens of them. I really couldn't count if there were 30 or 40 or maybe more. There were a lot of cockatiels. Okay. Now, the original bed and breakfast that was down here next to the property with the dogs, that originally was recreational property that belonged to the homeowners association. That one and Frank and Teresa McElwain's properties were recreational property. And in 1980, around 88, they were sold to private parties when the association was dissolved. And at some point, somebody built this, and there was no notification. It was, as far as anybody in Twin Lakes knew, it was just another house. If it was a bed and breakfast then, it was very discreetly run because nobody knew about it. Someone told me there was a B&B there. I looked it up online. I found a website. But that was the only way that I knew there was anything back there other than a house. In other words, they were very discreet about it. Basically, I feel that if the county supervisors, I think they will do their due diligence. They're all experienced in what they do. And if they have reviewed this whole thing and if they've seen the property and they've got pretty clear restrictions about what the people can bring there. In other words, no more than 14 dogs, small dogs under 10 pounds. And if the Board of Supervisors feels like this is okay, I would not contest it. I don't think it's an unreasonable request at all. Considering the number of acres they have and the privacy of the area. I mean, that barn is not right out on the street for everybody to see, and it's not really in anybody else's backyard. So I see no problem with having 14 small dogs in that barn. I'd say the feral population of cats in Twin Lakes probably well exceeds 20 cats on any 12 acres. There are a lot of feral cats around here, so 20 more cats isn't going to make any difference at all, especially if they're confined to a building. I want to thank the supervisors for considering this. This is just my opinion, but I think you're all informed enough to make a fair decision. Thank you.